In a world full of shit, there's only one show you can trust. It's the Whomper One Show. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, welcome to the show. See, today we're gonna talk about, I like doing my voice clip, and I think you all do too. So, I'm gonna tell you a story about a ghost. This is Ghost in the Forest. When I was a young child, I stumbled upon an old lady walking through the woods. My nephew was with me. I was very young then. Now, we were far into the woods because we grew up in the mountains of Tennessee. This lady literally came out of nowhere. This was a complete opening. She had to be in her 80s and 90s. She told us hello and that she lived in the house down the road from here. In reality, down the road from here is like a good hour walk down the road, and the house she described no longer existed. Young, terrified me didn't understand that I had no idea what was going on because this lady, there's no way she's out there. And she looks healthy, she looks good. She doesn't look lost, she just looked like she was power walking through the woods. But the way she described everything, and everything she described never existed or was even on that road. Sean brushed it off like it was nothing because I'm just a little kid. And we just kind of just stood there and we said hello, and she actually just kept walking. A few minutes go by and we decided, hey, maybe she is lost, because we're just trying to piece it together. We found someone in the middle of nowhere. Not many people even knew about that trail. And we went to, we fast walked and we ran down the trail. No one was there. It's like she disappeared. No sight. Nothing. She was gone. We ended up making it to the road she was talking about. We were a good distance away from home. It was starting to get dark and we needed to get back home pretty fast. But we decided maybe we can find her if we just kept going. The house that we had stumbled upon wasn't even the house that she described. No one was there. It was actually abandoned. Just the roof had caved in because it was just sitting there being weathered away by time. And sometimes I think back to that day. Did it actually happen? Did 2 children witness a disappearance? Or was it all a figment of our imagination and our paranoia that got the best of us? Or maybe she was the ghost of the forest. You thought that was scary? Well, I have more tales from Whomps here in a few seconds. But first, a word from our sponsors. Are you tired of feeling like shit? Well, stop it with getting over it. Here's a word from one of our customers. Yes, getting over it got me through a lot. I got over it. I don't know how, but I did. It works. See if getting over it is right for you. Now back to the show. Use the word big ball below for 50% off getting over it. Listen, I try getting over it every day. Now, I may cry for only a minimum of 4 hours every day, but that means it's working because I went from 8 hours to 4 hours, and that is 50%. And if you take the 50% below, that is 100%. Yeah, that's right, you're saving 100% getting over it every day. Maybe I should start with one of the food ones. I know you like me whispering about the food and what I do to the food, and me dipping it in the sauce, and the sauce just goes everywhere. Well, it's not one of those nights, and sadly, I have no food to talk about. I know what food we can talk about. Let's bring back the $9.99 Taco 12-pack. Me and my best bud, we would get it all the time and eat the fuck out of those fucking tacos. They were $9.99, bitch. On second thought, I think I'll gain a lot of weight if they were still $9.99. Ever since their Taco Bell meat killed the Taco Bell dog, the brand has never been the same. I actually have 2 of the little stuffed animal thingies that Taco Bell gave out back in the day when they were cool. As with everything that goes on in my life, the batteries inside both dogs withered away and died. They no longer make the sound. It's almost like I should hold a funeral for them and bury them in the yard, in memory of the nostalgia that we had back then. How great and colorful things was. How bright and cheerful. We had $9.99 Taco 12-packs. Everything was right. I was a young kid. I was free. I watched the sun come up across my face as I'd play video games all night long. And now I feel like shit for several days if I stay up all night for one night. It's unfair. Time has withered me away, just like the battery in those Taco Bell dogs. That feeling of watching the sun come up and you realize, oh, I stayed up all night playing video games was the best feeling ever. I'll never forget the feeling of staying up on night playing video games and using the family computer to look up porn because everybody is asleep. You then grab your remote after you're done wanking it and you play some games. I remember staying up and playing Doom 3. It was one of my favorite games as a kid. Speaking of watching porn on the family computer, a few months later, it would be discovered that someone was watching porn on the computer, flooding it with viruses. It would end up blaming my older brother because they didn't think I knew how to look up porn, but I did. I didn't figure out how to delete my internet history until then, and that's where I learned that deleting your internet history is important after watching porn on the family computer. But luckily, my brother took the blame. Thank you, brother. I got introduced to the internet at a very young age. It was just so immersive. I found this app on Facebook called Yoville, and I would talk to people from around the world with some crazy people. It's crazy how much that game taught me how to communicate with total strangers at such a young age. I would talk to the people from everywhere, of all ages. Before we get off topic here, did you know that Wikipedia says that a banana is an elegant, edible fruit, potentially a berry, produced by several kinds of large flowering plants? Wow, makes me want to eat a banana. Now back to the stories that you've been waiting for. Tales from Womps. Where do you think I get my stories from? That's right, I Mad-Lib half of this. There's a ton of unedited stuff. I'm 20 minutes into this thing, and all I got is 6 minutes and 40 seconds of a pure, uninterrupted, non-breathing content for your enjoyment. Now, so the time I got really noticed in the Halloween costume, I was just a kid. That's right, I'm always a kid with these stories. I did a bunch of stuff. I need to start doing some stuff now. Now what happened was, my mom didn't buy me a Halloween costume, so I had to improvise. We were gonna go to Gatlinburg and go trick-or-treating, but me without a costume? I think not. What I did was I got inside a banana box. You know that has a little hole in it? I put it up to my chest. I attached a belt on top of it and wrapped it around the thing so I could wear it. And then I taped the belt to the box. And I took the box and I wore it around. I even had a little cubby I built inside the box that was waterproof for my MP3 player that played music. And what I did is I walked around town. People were stopping, taking my picture. This boy is in a cardboard box. It didn't even have anything. It just said, "Give me candy," and permanent marker. I was so famous. I knew then I must do something with my life. I must be famous, but that hasn't gotten me anywhere. Thank you for joining the Womper One Show, and good night.